Today in crypto, Bitcoin has just hit a new all-time high. I repeat, Bitcoin has just hit a new all-time high. Yes! Ah, man, that feels good. Also, I've got a clip from the director of Grayscale to share with you that proves that institutions are buying altcoins. We also look at the eerily similar pattern playing out between gold and Bitcoin. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the wild world of crypto. By the way, before we dive into today's news, a quick reminder that Wealth Mastery Investor Report members will be receiving issue number 22 on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, every week, the team and I will bring you a deep dive report on a hot altcoin top tier technical analysis, a trending coin report, an interview with an industry leader, the latest token sales, stock tips, DeFi tutorials, airdrops, and so much more. All of that for less than $10 a week, making this one of the most value-packed and affordable newsletters on the market. There's a link down below where you can learn more about Wealth Mastery and become a member today. So, Bitcoin. It did a thing today. According to most sites, we hit a new all-time high today for Bitcoin. Where is the champagne, Lark? Well, you might ask that question. I'm holding the champagne for $20,000 because yes, indeed, Bitcoin did rally to a new all-time high today. But here's the thing, not everywhere. Not everywhere. Well, CoinGecko is officially calling this the new all-time high for Bitcoin. They're taking, of course, an aggregate of all exchange prices. But Bitcoin did not hit a new all-time high on all exchanges, including major exchanges like Coinbase, which, for example, has a high watermark of around $19,900, but today it only hit $19,878, $22 short. Come on, Coinbase, man, WTF. But over on Bitstamp, for example, we did surpass the all-time high by like $200, so, you know, it's a bit of a mixed bag, depending on which exchange you look at. $20,000 though, tantalizingly close. And when we do hit $20,000, it'll mean that every exchange is now showing a new all-time high for Bitcoin. But for the, all intents and purposes, this is a new all-time high for Bitcoin. So enjoy it, savor the flavor, rinse it around your mouth a little bit. It's good. It feels good. This is a good day for Bitcoin. 3 years of fear and uncertainty of people saying Bitcoin is going to zero. All vindicated. Screw you, bears. Screw you. Basically, anyone that has ever bought Bitcoin, you're now in profit. It's awesome. One day, in the not so distant future, people will tell tales of the legends who bought Bitcoin under $20,000. That's us, man. That's us. It's exciting. And what a way as well for Bitcoin to close out the month. That monthly candle, just what a thing of beauty. This is the biggest monthly close for a candle by a mile. It's a mega bullish indicator. Remember that any dips we see over the next year, basically, they're for buying. It's a bull market, guys. Dips are for buying in bull markets. As we have been discussing the last few days, basically the last two times that Bitcoin closed a higher monthly candle above the previous peak high resulted in a massive rally for Bitcoin. So the two times it happened before, it took Bitcoin 10 months to hit a new cycle peak. Now, if that proves true again, obviously history does not repeat, but it does rhyme, right? Then we may see a new all-time peak high for Bitcoin, September 2021. But perhaps, just perhaps, the dynamics of this bull run being driven by a new class of investor, the institutional investor, the family office, the hedge fund, all that big money coming in, maybe Bitcoin's going to pump longer and harder than ever before. Also, the crazy thing about Bitcoin hitting this new all-time high is that there's relatively no media frenzy, no real talk of an impending bubble pop, no retail insanity, which all says to me one simple thing: welcome to the start of the bull run. Actually, it started a few months ago, if you guys have been paying attention, but this is, a big thing to be hitting a new all-time high now. And the relative calm of the market, astonishing, which again just says we're going to the moon. We're just, in the early stages of this still, especially considering this chart here, which shows that This November was the third highest month ever in terms of traded volume for Bitcoin, only outdone by December 2017 and January 2018. That's mostly institutional money gobbling up Bitcoin. Just crazy stuff to see. In fact, just today we got another major institution talking favorably about Bitcoin. This one is called Alliance Bernstein. They're a wealth management firm handling $631 billion in assets, so they're kind of a big deal, right? Now, they have said that they believe that Bitcoin does indeed have a role in asset allocation for an investor's portfolio, stating that the drivers pushing investor money into gold are the same drivers that are getting investors on board with Bitcoin. The firm recommended that investors consider an allocation of between 1.5 to 10% into Bitcoin. Wow! They even shared this chart here showing a theoretical allocation with 29% in the S&P 500, 66% in 10-year bonds, and 4% in Bitcoin. That's bullish, man. That is bullish. And it's a big turnaround as well for the firm, because back in early 2018, they said that Bitcoin was a no-go. And speaking of gold, by the way, over the last 4 months, around $2 trillion in value has been lost from the market cap of gold. Now, Dan Tapiero, he pointed this out over on Twitter, that also during the same time that gold has been slumping and seeing a lot of money flow out of it, that Bitcoin has actually added $180 billion in total market cap, meaning that some of that money has indeed been flowing into Bitcoin, meaning that investors are indeed betting on Bitcoin as being the faster horse in the race of the inflation hedge assets. Then we have, of course, Paul Tudor Jones, the little brother of Paul Three-Door Jones, who really kicked this trend off earlier this year when he put a few percent of his portfolio into Bitcoin, quite famously, obviously. Now, this was the big sign for institutional players to, hey, Bitcoin's cool, guys, come on in, the water's warm, it's all good. Since then, he has seen about 100% gain on his Bitcoin play, which is very impressive, and he even posted this recently showing Bitcoin now versus the price of gold in the 1970s. Now, the implication here is that Bitcoin is looking like it is about to follow this same pattern, which means a massive breakout for Bitcoin as more and more institutions accept Bitcoin as essentially being a better, more modern version of gold, as basically being the ultimate inflation hedge that also happens to be in its early stages of price discovery. We got here before all the big guys. That's awesome. Now, the risk-reward ratio for investing a few percent of your portfolio into Bitcoin right now, it's astronomical. It's basically irresponsible at this point to not be in Bitcoin. Institutions are waking up more and more to this every single day. And finally, I want to share this with you. The managing director of Grayscale was on CNBC yesterday, and he had some very interesting things to say. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
It's super difficult to predict where the Bitcoin price is going, but if our inflows at Grayscale are any indication of the types of investors that are interested in this asset class or the sizes of the allocations being made, I do feel like we're just getting started.
Are you seeing heavier inflows into Bitcoin right now, or say the XRP fund?
We're seeing inflows across all 10 products at the Grayscale family. I think that a lot of investors have now allocated, I believe a third of our investor base now owns more than one Grayscale product, inherently more than one digital currency. And that's a trend that we've only seen gain momentum throughout this year.
Okay, so two very important points to discuss here. The first is that he says we are just getting started, and he's right. He's absolutely right. From a technical level, this market obviously is primed for insane gains. But from a more fundamental level, we're seeing just record interest from big money investors and institutions just piling into Grayscale's products. The last few months have been just record-breaking after record break after record break for them. And the second point is quite fascinating, that he said that 1 in 3 Grayscale investors own altcoins. Now, according to their own data, Ethereum is by far the most popular choice, but it does prove a simple point. Institutional money is not going to just stay in Bitcoin. Some of it will. Some of it will, right? The same investors that probably would have only gotten to gold, right? But they're looking beyond that right now. They're looking at altcoins, meaning we are going to see record cash flows coming to altcoins as well. Now this week I have been buying my usual kind of coins, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, but that's my kind of long-term bags. As I mentioned yesterday, I think it's small cap altcoins that are going to be the crazy millionaire making plays during this bull run. You put the money you make from that into Bitcoin to keep your gains. I do, however, have my eye on a few mid-cap altcoins that I think have some serious potential as well. But that is the topic of another video. Your question for today: do you think that Bitcoin is going to cross $20,000 this week? Or is it going to take some time still? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.